Hey, how you doing? I've added some special effects here behind me to make it look as if I'm in a really messy, shitty apartment. I wonder if it worked. Anyway, I wanted to run something past you. I was watching a Traversy video that he's just put up there, and I haven't checked it all out yet, but he was talking about how there's just so much to learn and how a lot of developers get overwhelmed by that. And let me tell you, I think that this is something that we need to talk about, because about 2 or 3 months ago, I gave somebody some really bad advice. That's right. Yes, it happened. I gave him some terrible advice. And what this was, it was a friend of mine who's a super intelligent guy. I mean, top drawer. He's a maths teacher, and a brilliant maths teacher, by the way, not an ordinary maths teacher. And he had messaged me about 3 months ago and said that he was thinking about trying web development and what should he learn. And I gave him some terrible advice, because I said to him, you should learn HTML first, you should learn CSS second. I says, and then you've got a choice, and I laid out some things. And I ended up steering him towards JavaScript. And I checked in with this guy about 3 days ago, just to see how he was going. And he has been working very hard. He's been all over Udemy and doing courses and stuff. I mean, like I say, the dude is not scared of work. He has done the hours. And when I spoke to him, I threw in a couple of little testers, like, do you know how to do an array? Do you know how to do a function and stuff like that? And he knew all of that. So he was doing good. And like I say, that's to his credit, and that's all fantastic. But then I asked if he had done any database stuff yet, inserts, edits, updates and whatnot. He hasn't. He says, but maybe that's coming up in the course. And I never asked this, but I know what the answer would be. He clearly has not been shown anything to do with authentication or how to handle, let's say, signing in, security, creating a private members area. He has probably not even been shown how to upload a simple website, or even something like what an SQL injection attack is. I dare say he's probably never even heard the phrase. Now, that's not his fault. He has done all the right things. He took the advice, but it was bad advice. And not for the first time. I'm holding my hands up and I'm saying, I gave the dude bad advice. It was bad advice because the JavaScript community is a shambles. And that's nobody's fault. I like JavaScript. I do JavaScript every single day. I'm actually thinking about doing a JavaScript course, by the way. Like, it would be different from anything else. It wouldn't be... Anyway, who cares? I like JavaScript, okay? I'm just saying, with the JavaScript community, you've got a serious moving target. You've got massive browser compatibility issues. You've got complexity, I think. I mean, I have noticed that when I'm building with JavaScript, I'm approximately 20 times slower than if I was building with another technology that I'm going to mention. Building with JavaScript takes ages. I mean, if you're going to go all in for JavaScript, and that applies whether it's Node.js or just some front end thing like Angular or something, or a combination, it is slow. Also with JavaScript, there are huge security concerns that nobody's talking about. Why is this screen going so dark, by the way? Is that me? I don't know. I actually quite like it. I look kind of tanned. Anyway, I've gone through a whole bunch of JavaScript courses on Udemy, and not one of them, and this was including things like Angular and Node.js courses, not one of them has mentioned how to secure API endpoints or anything like that. Can you imagine how many JavaScript sites there must be out there that are just wide open? And so the big problem with JavaScript, I think, is that there's not really any clear pathway to power. Now again, let me be clear. I'm not saying don't learn JavaScript, and I'm not saying JavaScript's a bad thing. JavaScript is a good thing. I like JavaScript, okay? However, there's just too much confusion. Browser compatibility, the frameworks are being rewritten every 10 minutes. You've also got security issues. Even if you learn JavaScript, you don't even get to learn about proper database stuff like creating a unique index or primary keys and foreign keys and all of that stuff. JavaScript people, if you go all in for it, they wouldn't be able to get that. So here's the grand point. Let me get to it. PHP is king. It has to be PHP. Not Python, not Ruby, not some horse shit. PHP. And I should have said to the guy, learn PHP. Because with PHP, you don't have browser compatibility issues. They're gone. With PHP, anyone who learns PHP from any reputable course, they're going to have a foundation in database stuff. Who ever heard of a PHP course that doesn't teach how to do basic database stuff? So if you learn PHP, you are covered. It's kind of like, if you learn jiu-jitsu and you're really good at jiu-jitsu, you'll probably be good at ground fighting, right? Not that I'm into that stuff, but can you handle the vibe? I should have said to the guy, learn PHP, and the pathway to power would actually be HTML, a bit of CSS, not over the top, just a wee bit, and then straight into PHP and MySQL, and let that be the foundation. Not MongoDB, not Firebase, not some other crap. PHP and MySQL, that should have been, and it should be the foundation for any professional web developer. Now, why not Python? Why not blah, 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 blah? Why not Shaman? Why not Go or something? Well, these things are all nice. I'm not knocking them. But with PHP, you have a technology that is powering over 80% of the web. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not seen market domination like this since Henry Ford released the Model T back in 1910 or whenever it was. So PHP is the technology that's out there. Everybody's using it. So the potential client base is massive. And by the way, if you ever see any videos in your travels where people talk about how the jobs have declined and they show you a graph and the PHP jobs are going through the floor and the Angular jobs are going through the roof, and they say, see, PHP is becoming less popular. These people are wrong. They are wrong, and they are reading the data wrongly. Is that the right word? Erroneously. The reason why they're wrong is because I know clients who have got PHP sites. I'm looking at my phone. I wonder if one will phone before I finish this video, right? I've been involved in hundreds of PHP sites, and I have clients that date back for many, many years. And what I can tell you is that when they need somebody to do some work on the site, they're not posting an advert on Indeed or some job website like Monster or something like that. No. The website owners who have PHP sites have the luxury, the joy, the happiness of being able to go to sites like Freelancer or even Fiverr.com or Upwork or whatever they've changed the name of it to, and people per hour. They have a rich network of freelancer sites. And because it's PHP, oh hallelujah, they don't need to advertise a job at 70 grand a year. They can just head on the freelancer site, get the stuff done, pay a few $100, and everybody is a winner. So those people who show you the charts saying, look at the PHP jobs going down. The PHP jobs are not going, well, maybe the jobs on Indeed or something are going down. But holy moly, we're talking about a technology that's powering about 80% of the web. What do you think? Everybody's just saying, yeah, let's not work on the site. Of course they are. And if anybody was doing any sort of honest reporting on this, then they would show you the statistics from those freelancer sites, in which case PHP would absolutely dominate. Of course, I haven't said anything about PHP's huge community, the many libraries that you can download for free that do all sorts of amazing things, the frameworks, the cheap hosting and all of that stuff. It's really easy to set up. I haven't even mentioned how PHP 7, the new version, is now double the speed of the previous one. I mean, it's just fantasticola. And so, ladies and gentlemen, PHP is the way to go. That is the pathway of power. That's the foundation, and I wish I had given the guy that advice, because right now he is a very hard-working, intelligent guy who has put in a lot of hours, but he is directionless. He is like a ship out in the ocean with no sails, drifting around, and he doesn't know what to do. Oh, how I wish I could have directed him towards the world of PHP. And then, with that knowledge, so now let's assume he does a month or two of PHP, and let's assume that now he knows about normalization and how tables work and how to authenticate people, and he understands session variables and cookies and all of the stuff that JavaScript folks generally don't talk about. But from that foundation, by all means, go learn React, Angular, vanilla JavaScript. Go learn anything you want, Python, who cares? But PHP is the foundation. And I'm going to send him this video because this is the information that I should have passed on. I will never make that mistake again. Now, there's one thing else that I'd like to run past you folks. And this is probably... I mean, you guys are such an experienced bunch that I don't think it's going to fly, but I'll say it anyway, right? You know, one of the things that I've noticed about web development courses is that there's a whole lot of stuff to be learned, and 90% of it you'll never even need. So if you take some of those web developer boot camps that are on Udemy, they just go on and on and on and on and on, and they pride themselves on, you know, we have a gazillion hours of stuff. And I know somebody who went through one and he was just miserable. I mean, I think he got about halfway through it and he was just like, I picked the wrong career here, you know. And so for a while I've been wrestling with this idea. And it's actually not an idea for you guys, but I'll run it past you anyway. But I was wrestling with this idea. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a course that could show people from zero to I can build anything, but in an insane, like, mega short space of time? And everybody's thinking, well, I've already done that, I've already done it, it's there, here, look at it, it's here, it is here. No, they've not. They've not done it as good as I would do it. Because I can look at the stuff that's being taught and I can say, well, you really don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that. Oh, and by the way, here's a whole bunch of clients who don't use that, who are making millions, and there's the proof. You don't need it. And so I had this idea, like, what about a course that just showed people just what you need, and you get out of the starting blocks? And not only do you get out of the starting blocks quickly, so you get through the thing quick, like from here's how you switch on a computer to I can build anything. Imagine something that you could do that in an astonishingly short period of time. However, when you get to the end of the process, not only have you got there faster than anybody else, but you can actually code faster than anybody else. some of you may have noticed that I'd made a code generator, and I could even potentially say, all right, you've finished the course, here's a code generator. Congratulations, you're now 2,000 times faster than all of the other web developers in the world. And I thought, wouldn't that be cool? So about, I don't know, a while ago, maybe a month or two ago, I bought this domain name, and I thought it sounded kind of cool. And the domain name was Speed Coding Academy. I thought that was a cool name. I'm into speed coding. I'm into doing stuff fast. This is the guy who wants to show you how to do stuff really, really quickly, and then have you do that stuff 2,000 times faster than anybody else. Because one thing's for sure, getting the sales is easy, and if you can do that stuff really, really quick, I just think it would be cool. Now, I'm going to be straight. I've had 3 people this week ask me if I would do that. Well, not directly, but they have expressed an interest in potentially learning from me, and that's how I would teach them. And by the way, it wouldn't even be, I was thinking like, I'll rent a room out at the local college, and I'll turn up in the evenings and I'll show them, and it'd be nothing to do with you guys, right? Nothing to do with you guys. But my idea was, I rent a room and I'll show them this stuff, and in a month they'll all be out there kicking ass. And I think it's a good idea. But just on the off chance, and please do not humour me, but on the off chance, I wonder if that would be something that would interest any of you guys. Maybe it is something that could work on the web. Let me tell you why I think it might not work though. If I was going to be doing this, it would be going right back to ground zero. Like, here's HTML. Here's hello world, So this would be for people absolutely starting from ground zero. So it may actually be too easy for a lot of you folk. But the end result is, it's like, those wee Japanese school kids who can do incredible calculations and do a big division and say, here's the answer. That's what people are going to be like at the end of this process. That's the goal. Now, if I was going to do this, I ain't charging 20 quid, right? If I'm charging people 5-figure sums for online shops, I'm not going to come in and do the whole 20 quid thing. For one thing, it would not be a course that you just leave up there and you'd go through it and I head off to Honolulu. No. I would be coming in and checking you guys out every week. I'd be saying, okay, build me a form validation thing that checks this, that. I would like it to have first name, last name, blah, blah, blah. I'd like that to be required, that with a min length of that to be a min of that. Do this. You now have 1 minute to build it. Dude. And I would be literally doing that. And I would be timing you guys like an athletics coach. And so the focus would be on speed. And some of you are like, well, you can't do that in 1 minute. Yes, you can. And I would be going right through the whole process like that, actively teaching people how to be really, really, really fast at this. It hasn't been done before, and it would be quite intense, and it would be expensive. I'm a really expensive guy. It's just that I never wasted any of my money in a fancy apartment, you see. So if you were going to be doing this with me, come in with the assumption that it would be more than $500. Do you hear me? It would be more than $500. If anybody would be interested in that, because I've got 3 who are potentially up for it, but if any of you guys would be up for it, if I could get a bunch of people who would potentially be up for it, then maybe I could do it on the web. So let me know. Assume it's going to be about $500, let's say. Would you be up for that? It's the speed coding vibe. From zero to Speed Demon. Maybe doing the Michael Jackson dance as you sing the song Speed Demon. That could be our anthem. Would you be interested in learning that stuff? It's going to be about 500 donuts. I'm the most expensive guy in the universe. Oh, hang on, I'm dead expensive. Can't hang about with you losers. I need to go and deal with big piles of cash. So it's really expensive. Would you be up for it though? Let me know in the comments. I'll catch you later.